Hello, today we're going to start talking about slope. So slope, for some reason, I've never been able to find the good reason for this, I've tried. We use the letter M to denote slope. So the letter that represents slope is just M. So M, or slope, is your change in y over your change in x as you're looking at a graph. You might have seen or heard of this before as rise over run, or you might have seen change in y over change in x written this way with those triangles. Those triangles are actually the Greek letter delta. So triangle y means change in y, triangle x means change in x. There are four things that can happen with your slope. Your slope can be positive, which would look like this one right here. It's like you're going uphill as you're going to the right. Your slope could be negative, which is downhill as you go to the right. Whenever you have a positive slope or a negative slope, your slope is going to be either, in this case, a positive number, or for negative, it's going to be a negative number. If your slope is 0, that means that nothing is changing with your slope. You're not going uphill or downhill as you go across that line to the right, that you are going to have a horizontal line. The only time the slope is 0 is when you have a horizontal line. And then if you have a vertical line, which looks like this, your slope is undefined. So we don't write a number for that. We just say undefined. Technically, what's happening there is you are dividing. When you think about your rise over your run, let's say we're going up 2, but you're going to the right 0. 2 divided by 0, or anything divided by 0, is undefined. So that's where that comes from. We're going to be looking at a couple of different things today, and this will be the same on your assignments. For some of the problems on your assignment, you'll be looking at a graph like these you see right here and just saying, what is the slope? In order to find the slope, you need to find 2 points on that line that are easy to count between. So it's easiest if you pick points that go perfectly through the intersection of grid lines. So I'm going to pick this point right here and then follow my line until I find another one, this point right here. As we can see, the slope is going down as we go to the right, so it's going to be a negative slope. So my M, or my slope, is going to be how many I went down. So I went down 1. And then how many I went to the right. I went to the right 1. So my slope is negative 1 over 1. You can leave it like that, or you can say, okay, negative 1 divided by 1 is just negative 1. You could just say M equals negative 1 instead. When you have something that is not diagonal, so either a vertical or horizontal line, don't worry about counting your slope. Just remember what your situation is. So since this is a vertical line, our slope is undefined. So you don't write a number for that. You just say the word undefined. Let's try another one. So there's nice, I'm going through this point perfectly right here, this point perfectly right here. To find our slope, it's a negative slope. I've gone to get from this point to the next one. I've gone down 1, 2, 3, 4. So the top number of my slope is negative 4, although that doesn't look like one. Let me fix that. Okay, top number there is negative 4. The bottom number of my slope is how many have I gone to the right? I've only gone to the right 1. So you can leave your slope like that, or you can just say, okay, negative 4 divided by 1 is negative 4. So either of those two things there would be perfect for your answer. The next one is a horizontal line. Anytime you're doing the horizontal line, you don't need to worry about counting the slope. You just say M equals 0. There is a 0 slope to that line, so our slope is equal to 0. The rest of these we'll be able to count up and down over how many we've gone to the right, just like the rest of them, because all of these are diagonal lines, not horizontal or vertical. So it looks like our graph goes very nicely through this point here. And then if I follow that, here's the next one where it goes through nicely. To get from that point on the left to the point on the right, I've gone up 1. So the top number of my slope is a positive 1. And I've gone to the right 1, 2. So my slope is positive 1/2. Let's try another one. Here is one nice point. Let's follow till we find another one. It's kind of far away, but that's okay. There's another one. It's a positive slope, so I'm counting how many I've gone up and then how many I've gone to the right. To get from this point to the next one, I've gone up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top number of my slope is 5 over how many have I gone to the right? 1, 2, 3. So my slope is 5 over 3. We're back to a negative slope for the next one. So find 2 points that work nicely. Looks like this one, and follow this one. So since it's a negative slope, my top number will be a negative number because I've gone down 1, 2, 3. So negative 3 up top. Bottom number, how many I've gone to the right? 1, 2. So my slope is negative 3 over 2. You may have noticed that these two were improper fractions. We're just going to leave them as improper fractions, so I don't want you to write, for instance, this one negative 1.5. It's easier for slope counting purposes to leave it as a fraction, so don't change it to a decimal, don't change it to a mixed number. All right, last one, same idea. So let's find 2 points that work nicely. Looks like this one and this one. To get from one point to the next, I've gone up 1, and I've gone to the right 1. So my slope is 1 over 1. You can leave it like that, or you can say 1 divided by 1 is just 1. So if you're given a graph with a line on it, count from one point that works nicely to the next one going to the right that works nicely. How many have gone up or down is the top number of your slope. How many have gone to the right is the bottom number of your slope. The last bit of problems that we're going to look at, they're a little bit different. They have given us a slope or an m. They have given us a point. They want us to make the line that has that slope that goes through the point given. So you're actually going to use this information backwards. We're going to start with plotting the point they give you. So I'm going to graph negative 3, 0. X is negative 3, y is 0, goes right here. From there, they want us to use that slope to find other points on our line. Since my slope is 1 over 2, that means I need to go up 1, right 2 to get the next point on my graph. So up 1, right 2 is right here. You could make that line extend all the way across the graph, but you only need 2 points to make a line, so that right there would be perfect. On your homework, you're going to actually be matching graphs that have the go through the correct point and have the correct slope instead of drawing the lines yourself. Let's try another one. So the point that we are starting with is negative 1, 4. So x is negative 1, y is 4. That is here. They tell us that the slope is negative 2, but that really means the same as negative 2 over 1, kind of backwards the way we talked about some of the slopes before. So a negative 2 slope means we've gone down 2 and to the right 1. So from that first point I drew, I'm going to go down 2 and right 1. And once you have at least 2 points, you can make a line. Remember that when you draw a line, lines go on forever and ever, so you need arrows on both sides. All right, next one. Our starting point is 0, 6. So x is 0, y is 6. That's on your y-axis. And then it says m equals 0, so our slope equals 0, which means we're dealing with a horizontal line. Horizontal line looks like this, and that's all you need to do. Next one, our point that we're going to start with is 3, 5. So x is 3, y is 5. That goes right here. We have a negative slope, so we're going to go down the top number and to the right the bottom number from that point. So from that point, I'm going down 2 and to the right 3. Once I have at least 2 points, I'm going to make my line do a little bit better though. Once you have at least 2 points, you can connect those 2 points and make a line. Next one says m equals undefined. We know that undefined slope is going to be a vertical line, but we still need to make sure it goes through the right point. The point here is 2, negative 3. So x is 2, y is negative 3. We're going to draw an undefined slope line, which is a vertical line through that, which looks like this. All right, last but not least, our starting point is negative 3, negative 4. So x is negative 3, y is negative 4. That's down here. And our slope is positive 1. Remember, when it's a whole number, we can make it think of it as being 1 over 1. That means we've gone up 1 and right 1 to get to our next point. So for my blue point, I'm going to go up 1, right 1. Once you have at least 2 points, you can make a line. That is it for today for our starting out information about slope. Have a fantastic day.